Hi, welcome back to Joe Blogs, and this is a very special edition of Joe Blogs because it's the very first Joe Goes. And in this episode, I'm going to Cologne. In fact, I'm already here. I'm in Cologne. And the reason I'm in Cologne today is that I've come over for a football match at the European Championships. Cologne is one of the host cities for Euro 2024. But I'm taking the opportunity to have a look around the city to see what's here, whether or not it's worth coming, what the sights and sounds and all of the attractions are. So I'm going to go through some of the best things to do in Cologne. We'll have a look at those things, we'll see some of the food, some of the beer, we'll see what the people are like, we'll see whether or not it's a pleasant place to hang around. So basically it's just a travel guide to Cologne. So hopefully you'll find it a bit fun, slightly different to my usual type of videos, but hopefully you'll think it's fun, it's enjoyable, and maybe you'll want to come to Cologne after you've seen this. So let's get started and have a look at some of the sights and sounds of Cologne. So here I am in my hotel room. You might be thinking, well, what are we doing in your hotel room? I thought we were going to have a look at Cologne. But I thought it was worth showing you this because Germany is one of the only places in the world where you can actually get a single bedroom. So a lot of hotels like this one only have single beds. So this looks like a teenager's bedroom, apart from the fact that there's very little on the walls. If this was a teenager's bedroom, I'm sure there'd be lots of posters and things. And it reminded me a little bit of a prison cell, because maybe solitary confinement prison cell, because it's not particularly large. The bed wasn't particularly comfortable either. It's a bit of a strange setup. Now I'm traveling here with my friend and we've got a single bedroom each. But obviously if you were coming here as a couple, this isn't really ideal. You wouldn't want a single bedroom, but I thought I'd show it to you because it just amused me and I thought it'd be a fun thing to get started with. So let's go and have a look at what Cologne's got to offer. So here I am outside my hotel in Cologne, and the first thing that you notice about it is that it's incredibly clean. All the streets are really clean, it's really nice, picturesque. So let's go and have a look around some of the streets in Cologne. Now one of the things that strikes you about Cologne is that despite being the fourth largest city, there is very little traffic. I've been walking on this street for the last few minutes and I haven't seen any cars at all. We have got lots of bicycles, people are riding around, and it makes it a very pleasant city centre environment because you don't have the noise of cars, you don't have the pollution, you don't have to get out of the way of them, you can walk down the middle of the road. If you want to, I can walk down the middle of this road, there's no traffic whatsoever. It really is quite a strange feeling. Very, very clean, very nice, very pleasant to come to. So first impressions of Cologne are really very positive, really quite nice. And it's definitely the sort of place you could come for a city centre break. I just wanted to wander about, give you a flavour as to what it's like. It's quite green, although it's very, very urban in the city centre itself. And there is the first view of the cathedral in the distance. We're going to have a look at the cathedral itself a bit later, but it dominates the city centre. You can see it from most parts, very big, it's 145 metres tall. We're going to have a look at that later. One of the features of Cologne is that it was bombed heavily in World War II. And the bombers apparently were told to avoid hitting the cathedral because it was a good landmark reference for future bombing raids. And as a result of that, a lot of the buildings in the city centre are actually new build, because it was reported that 93% of Cologne was destroyed in World War II. And you can see the impact. All the buildings around here are new. There's very little in terms of anything with architectural merit. And that's the general feel of the city when you walk around it. It's very new, modern, which is nice, but you don't see a lot of architectural interest. Without doubt, the most famous landmark in Cologne is the cathedral, which dominates the city centre, and it rises to a maximum of 145 metres at the very peak. Now this cathedral took over 600 years to build. It was started in 1248 and completed in the 19th century. And it's made of sandstone, and that sandstone looks black, so you can see that it's got a very old Gothic looking style. And the reason for that is because the sulfuric acid in rain actually impacts on the sandstone and turns it black. Now, you can't actually go in the cathedral today, it's closed, so we can't go inside to have a look around it. I thought it was worth having a scan around the outside, because this is quite an impressive structure. And if you're into cathedrals, you like looking at things like this. This is a very nice square that it's in, so you can see there's lots of space all around here. And hello YouTube, thank you very much. And yeah, it's a nice place to hang out. It's a nice sunny day today, so you can come hang out at the cathedral. I think it probably is open on other times, but for some reason at the moment while the football's on, I think they've closed it. But let's have another look around the outside. So here we are down by the water, the Rhine, and this is the Hohenzollern Bridge, and it apparently has 1,500 train crossings per day on here. And this is a really nice part of the city to come to. You can see that there is lots of greenery, but there's some beer gardens, lots of restaurants over behind me here. Really nice place to come down for lunch and just hang out. But we're going to just have a wander over onto this bridge in a moment, so we'll be able to see what the river looks like from that vantage point. Nice Hyatt Hotel on the opposite side. You can see there's lots of boats behind me here, and also on this side.
It was destroyed in the Second World War and rebuilt in 1945.
Wow, that's really good knowledge. I'm amazed that you know so much about this bridge. Do you know anything else about it?
It's got 3 waves, the design of it, and there's a train going over. Right.
Wow, there's one of the 1,500 trains, quick. There we go, fantastic. Right, let's get up onto the bridge. Here we are just about to enter onto the bridge that we just looked at, and you can see there's an amazing station behind us, Cologne station. Really impressive structure. And the other thing you can see here is the juxtaposition between the old and the new, whereby you can see the cathedral. If I just wander around a little bit further, you can see the cathedral against all of these new buildings, because everything was bombed so heavily in World War II. You can see these new buildings there, so a really interesting mix between the really ancient cathedral and then all of this new build construct. And that's basically what Cologne's like across the board. There's lots and lots of new buildings everywhere. Here we are at the start of the bridge walk, and one of the interesting things here is that we've got these love padlocks all behind me. And this was something that started in 2008. It became a tradition, moved over from Italy, where it's very popular on the bridges there. And it's estimated that there are over 40,000 of these padlocks on the bridge now. And the weight of them is somewhere between 2 and 15 tons. So that's obviously adding a lot more weight to this bridge. Now, in a lot of cities, they have been cutting these off, they've been removing them, but not in Cologne. You can see this is absolutely jam-packed full of these padlocks. We've got another one of the 1,500 trains a day going behind me. So let's take a walk over the bridge and have a look at some of these padlocks. Whenever I visit a new city and it has a river, one of the fun things to do is take a walk across one of the many bridges, and this bridge is particularly fun because of all of the padlocks that have been put onto it. But what this enables you to do is get a good perspective of the city. You can see what's going on, have a look at both sides of the river, and you may be able to pick out some things that you're wanting to go and see. Now, I've speeded up the footage here because it makes it more fun. That's the sort of thing that people do on these travelogue videos. You speed everything up. But as you can see, this bridge is very popular, and I would definitely recommend heading down here and crossing over the water just so you can look back and have a look at the cathedral. Now, one of the most famous things about Cologne is its beer, and the KOLSCH beer, which is this, is only brewed in Cologne. So this is basically similar to Parmesan cheese or Parma ham. You can only get it from Cologne, and they're served in these very small glasses, 200 mils. And the reason for this is to keep it fresh. So you basically get a small glass, you finish this, and then you get another small glass rather than getting a big glass and it getting warm. And this stuff does taste delicious. Now, the KOLSCH beers, when they actually come in these barrels, and they hold them up on a chain, and then you can see all the small glasses underneath, and they basically fill these glasses using the barrel. So once it's in position and all bolted in, then they just basically open the tap and out this stuff comes. And then you can fill tons of these small glasses using the little barrel. So let's see, he's just popped he's just taken the foam out from the first one. There's a lot of foam, obviously. Got to get all of that foam out. So this is quite a fun thing to do. Obviously, not drinking the foam, drinking the actual beers. And as I said earlier, these 200ml glasses are the way to drink it. You don't really want to be having the big pints because it will get all warm. You have it from these small glasses. And the waiters bring these things round with the carry cases, carrying a whole ton of these beers on these little holders. Quite fun, they can swing them around, it doesn't spill anywhere. So if you're coming to Cologne, you have to have one of these beers, or maybe more than one, I don't know, depends what sort of mood you're in. Okay, so it's time for breakfast, and we go to this fantastic bakery here. There are lots of different options in Cologne. You can come and get some really amazing things for breakfast. So the place we're going for breakfast is called Bastian, and this has an amazing selection of breads and pastries and lots of great breakfast things. So let's go and have a little look inside. There's an amazing selection of breads. Very nice, lots of choice. Some great cakes. And then through the back here, we've got a really, really nice outside area. Lovely garden. We can go and have some breakfast in the sun. So let's go and have a look at that, grab our table and get ordering some food. Very, very pleasant environment. Here we go. One of the other great things to do in Cologne is to have some of their traditional food, and what we've got here is Wiener Schnitzel, which is very traditional, and pork knuckle. Just look at that, comes with a big knife. That is a huge knuckle of pork. But yeah, with two basic porky type dishes, and we're going to tuck into them with a couple more of these very small beers. So cheers! Of course, one of the other things that you can do in Cologne is shopping, and like any big city, there are tons of shops. And behind me here is one of the iconic buildings with an ice cream cone on top, which is Markt Gallery. So if you're interested in modern art, there's an art gallery called Kassengraver that we're here, that's just behind me. It's quite unassuming, it looks a little bit like a designer clothes shop, it's very quiet. So we're here at lunchtime on a Tuesday. Not many people in there, but let's go and have a look inside and have a look at some of the exhibits.
The works in this gallery are all by a German artist whose original name was Alfred Otto Wolfgang Schultz. However, he was known as Vols. Vols was born in Berlin in 1913. However, at the age of 19, he fled to Paris due to the rising threat of the Nazi regime. He initially focused his artwork on photography and its technical possibilities. And in 1933, after he was declared a deserter by Germany, he travelled to Spain where he devoted himself to watercolour painting. He moved back to Paris in 1937, and after France entered World War II in 1939, Vols was imprisoned as an enemy subject in various internment camps. During his internment, he continued to create art and called this period of his work Circus Vols. The majority of his artworks were created after the end of World War II, from 1945 onwards. As a loner with limited freedom of personal imagination, he was always on the edge of contemporary artist groups and movements, and was referred to as the Little Man from the Moon. He died at the early age of 38 from food poisoning contracted from eating horse meat in France.
Today I'm going to Germany for the Euro 24 Championships. This is a football tournament held every 4 years in Europe between the top teams, and England are one of those teams, and I'm going over to Cologne to watch England play against Slovenia. Now, unfortunately, England haven't had a great start to the tournament. They've actually done well in terms of performances. They've got 1 win and 1 draw. But in terms of the way they played, it's been terrible. And that's been really disappointing because England have got some of the best players in the world. Jude Bellingham, the 20-year-old superstar who plays for Real Madrid, got the Spanish Player of the Year and won both the Spanish League and also the Champions League. They've got Harry Kane, who is the top scorer in the German League, and he's the record goal scorer for England for all time. And they've also got Phil Foden, who was voted the Premier League best player this season. But unfortunately, they've been terrible so far, and everybody now has turned on the team. They're blaming the manager, Gareth Southgate. Everybody wants him sacked. So we're going to see whether or not England can turn it around. Hello, here I am in the main square in Cologne on the night before the England Slovenia game. All the England fans are singing. It is fun. Come on, England! Who's that? Arrest that man, arrest that man. Anyway, I will see you soon. There we go, we've got the game tomorrow. So here I am at Cologne Stadium. We're here for the match, nice and early, lovely day, really hot. The great thing is I've got tickets for corporate hospitality. I've been invited to go and have some posh food and drinks before the game. So let's go and see what the corporate hospitality is like at Euro 24. So here I am at the corporate hospitality area in Euro 24, and what we've got here is a lot seating area with lots of people sitting, having drinks, being fed food, trolleys of very nice spirits being whisked around, very convivial atmosphere, really nice. Hello, yeah, lots of corporate people, it's fun, nice and relaxed, and very well air conditioned, very cool and trendy. So here I am at the food bar, and there's a lovely selection of hot foods and desserts here. So we'll have a quick look at what's on offer. So you just basically have whatever you like, take it over. So we've got some really tasty desserts here. Really all looks nice. I think I will have all of those. And then there's a selection of hot food around here. So I'll just wander around the bar and have a look at what we've got. So we've got a really nice selection of salads, all of this. And then we've got the hot food. So we'll have a look at exactly what we can get. Just have a quick look. It's mac and cheese and various other bits and pieces. And then some other starters. And yeah, some really tasty bread. Fantastic. We've got our own box. So let's have a look at our box, which is Skybox number 3. So let's go in here and see what we've got. So in here, we've got our own bar and our own barman. Hello, Sarah, what's your name? Hey, nice to see you. He's going to be looking after us today, hopefully. We've got a selection of drinks and wines. And show me one of those glasses. Yes. So we've got one of these uber cool glasses, which has all the Euro 24 branding on it. Or have you got the other one that's got all of the different stadiums on it?
All the different stadiums.
Yeah, that is cool. That is nice piece of kit. And I've got one here that's got some beer in it. And this leads directly out to our own seats outside to look at the match. So let's have a look out here. Now these seats are uber cool. We've got nice, lovely padded seats. Really, that's quite comfortable. I do like that. And in terms of the view, what have we got? It's a fantastic view of this stadium. So absolutely awesome. So we are going to be watching. We are basically in line with the penalty box at one end of the pitch. Hopefully England will be scoring 6 or 7 goals in that penalty box. So I'll keep you posted, so let's see what happens. Here we are, pre-kick-off, and the atmosphere is really starting to build. Really positive atmosphere from the England fans. Everybody very excited, hoping for a great result against Slovenia. Come on, England. Well, the match is finished and it was 0-0, no goals. There was a goal for England, but it was disallowed for being offside for VAR. And that means that England top the group and they go through to the next round. So it was okay. It wasn't the most exciting game, but hopefully it'll be better next time. So what's my overall assessment of Cologne? Well, I think it's a really great place to come for a few days. There's lots of things to do here. The city centre itself is really compact, easy to get around. You've got the river, which is a really nice place to hang out, and there are lots of bars and restaurants down there. So in the sunshine, it's a really great place to be. There's also the nice bridge that we saw with all of the locks on it. That's a nice walk to go over there. You can see the other side of the water. There's also the cathedral, which is a really good focal point. Unfortunately, it wasn't open when we went there, so we couldn't go inside it, but it's a really nice square. There's lots of people hanging out there. The food and drink here is fantastic, particularly the small beers, which we sampled quite a few of. There's lots of great food. There's lots of nice places to hang out. We also went to the football, which wasn't quite as good as I was hoping it was going to be, but England still made it through, so it wasn't a complete disaster. But it's easy to get around here. It's quite a small city centre. It's very safe and clean. There are constant cleaners coming around, people in trucks and sweeping up. So it is incredible. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, because of the bombing in World War II, a lot of the city was destroyed, around 93%. So many of the buildings are new build over the last 60 or 70 years, and it has that very modern, trendy feel to it. So it's quite a cool place. There's lots of people on bikes, lots of people on electric scooters. So if you fancy doing something like that, you can whip around the place. There is a huge amount of art here, and I didn't see one of the bananas, but there is a banana movement where people have been spray painting bananas all over the city. So if you come here, you can try and track those down. It's quite a fun thing to do. It's a bit of a Banksy type thing. But it is a great place to come. I would definitely recommend it for a short city break. Very fun, very clean, lots of food and drink, really nice and pleasant thing to do. So thank you for watching this first episode of Joe Goes. Joe goes to Cologne in this first one, but hopefully there will be plenty more of these. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this video, if you'd like to see more of them. Maybe drop a few suggestions as to where you think I should go. And I will hopefully see you on the next Joe Goes.